All right, so this is part two, man. This is part two of DJ Academics explaining um who runs his Instagram because TD TDE Punch accused Drake of being the person writing captions about SZA and writing captions about TDE and writing captions about Kendrick Lamar. So TDE is saying that Drake is using DJ Academics Twitter page to run narratives, to run propaganda, to attack them. But DJ Academics is like, no, it's not Drake. Yes, Drake does. Drake is in contact with my team, but he's not writing it. But therefore, low key, Academics is kind of throwing Drake under the bus. He's kind of throwing Drake under the bus, saying, "Oh well, he doesn't write the captions, but he is in contact with my team." So initially, so pretty much he's alluding to the fact that well, he possibly could be telling them to write these things or hinting that Drake might be behind some of the stuff because why Drake is in contact with DJ Academics media team on Twitter. And we see how vicious and how crazy and how anti Kendrick Lamar that Twitter account is. So it sounds like Academics is pretty much snitching. It sounds like he's pretty much snitching on them, right? Um, so if you want to hear the first part, go watch the first part. This is the second part. So let's get to it.
And especially in a time like now, he's isolated where he's not going to talk to a complex, doesn't want to talk to GQ, Rolling Stones. We kind of got him to ourselves. Pause. That's worth it. Like, if you were the only media outlet that would talk to the president of the United States, you're infinitely up. That's what we are. I hate to have to explain media, but I sat there in Ford's Field explaining this to Dave Free. He's a businessman, I believe. I explained this to Dave Free. Dave Free remembers I explained this to him. I said, we get our value by having these associations. Young Boy's my friend. Young Boy don't really fuck with the most of these niggas. Matter of fact, I gotta hit him back. I think they hit me yesterday. Oh shit. Oh yeah. We're gonna go do some shit. The value of me and his relationship, or whatever you might think is the promo value, I don't have to ask Young Boy to give me a chain or something. It's worth the value by being that person. Same with Cardi. I've always treated media like that. I explained this to Dave Free while he was sitting there, puzzled why I supported Drake. I also told him we prefer Drake. Overall, the conversation turned into he was upset that Drake said, I think them kids might be Dave Freeze. He was upset about it. He admitted, he said, you know what? I was pacing. This is his own words. This is why I keep saying drop the video. He said he was in the back pacing. I guess because Anthony Saleh came out first with like two dudes. And then he came out with like 4 dudes. And he said, I was pacing in the back because I was thinking about how to handle this. And he's like, I realized my issue is with Drake, not you. Okay. And essentially, what he said, if I was going to crash out, I'd be doing it, but not on a person. He was basically saying he want to see Drake, my nigga. So he's saying, how much is he paying you? I was like, no, what do you think he's paying me? Come here? No, how much is he paying you? Like, he was saying, he's like, what are you getting out of this? And I was explaining to him, this is media, brother. Like, y'all started a rap beef, but you're very confused why a popular media outlet would either have a favorite or want to be in the midst of it. Like, it was confusing. But he was upset. So anyway, back to the tweet. So I said, Drake was the one who personally called me and asked me to cool it. Walked it back. She was crying for 2 days in the studio while he was trying to get her to cut slimy on her rich baby daddy. I told Dave Free the exact same thing. And I said, if Drake hasn't hit us about it, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the team that kind of, they don't really care about what TDE feels. Just like how I don't think TDE cares about what Drake feels. My whole thing too, and I told this to Anthony Saleh, because he's the one who, when sitting next to me, he says, Ak. And by the way, some of these things I was going to keep off the record, but I'm going to put it on the record. This is not recorded. I know this call, not call, but this conversation is not recorded. But we're playing telephone now, and we're grown fucking men, and everybody can get on the phone, but nobody wants to get on the phone. So if we're going to play telephone in the media, I'll tell everything. Anthony Saleh said, because he says, you're posting. No, he said, you're posting a man's wife. You're talking shit about his kids. And I said, brother, when have I talked about Kendrick's fucking kids? And he said, yo, y'all making jokes about this, that, and third. And I said, all right, give me the examples. So now he comes into the streets and give me the examples. And he said, bro, what I'm really trying to say is the Akademiks TV page. And I said, okay, what about it? He says, they're constantly taking shots at people who shouldn't be taking shots at. And I said, okay. And then we both agree on this one point. Non-public people in a rap beef should not be involved in shit being thrown both ways. Now, I said to him, now here's the thing. Kendrick and Drake is both culpable of this. Kendrick in a rap song says Dear Adonis. Drake in a rap song says Whitney. You do understand that fans or media outlets did not start this. And the energy that you guys have for this is created by y'all. So he tells me, yo, I'm going to be honest. I'm a businessman. And we had a reasonable conversation. And again, Anthony got my number. He got my number. So, he could definitely, let me try to he could definitely text me and be like, Ack, that's not how our conversation went. Or he could even call in now. He'd be like, all right, let's talk about it. So he said to me, he said, Ack, he says, your Akademiks TV page. He says, I know it's ran by that Grand Wizard chat nigga. He said, bro, I hired a private investigator. We know everything about him. We know where he lives. He tells me the guy government name. He tells me the location where he lives. He says, Ack, honestly, if he's like, because I don't know you to be talking about his chick or his kids or whatever, but if you could get that page to chill, it would prevent us from doing something. We don't want to have somebody. Now we'll get somebody to do something to that nigga. He's talking about Grand Wizard. I'm not gonna mention another person about Grand, but that was the conversation. They told me Grand Wizard's full name. So that's what he said to me.
Damn.
Okay?
Damn.
Anthony acknowledged that they put a PI to figure out who ran the page, who they are, where they live, what they do. They said, Ack, if you could have them tone it down or chill, we don't want to have somebody do something to that motherfucker. I said, okay, I'm gonna, I said, I don't look at every post, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm gonna talk to them and be like, yo, listen, I put myself out there and, I'm not backtracking or backpedaling from anything, especially if I say it. And also, just to be very clear, Punch, as you mentioned that, I never said nothing when Dave Free was there. I didn't backpedal from nothing I said about SZA because I explained to him exactly why I got back at SZA. Dave Free mentioned to me, Ack, you remember me, right? And I said, Dave, I do remember you. I said, I remember that you were the person who called my phone after SZA threw a fit after the Everyday Struggle episode. And then I was hearing that these gang members were trying to kill me the first time over SZA. And you were civil and you said, Ack, yo, this girl's sensitive, da-da-da. Yo, what do you feel about it? I'm like, bro, I was on stream. I didn't know who SZA was. I wasn't trying to even be funny. I said, can I talk to her? You told me SZA doesn't want to talk to you. I said, okay. He says, but bro, we would like for you to make it right though. Complex was pressing the fuck out of me. Apparently they had some with TDE going on, like a spread or something. He said, everybody from Complex called me. Dave Free said, so I said to Dave Free, if SZA don't want to talk to me, what are we talking about? He said, bro, just at least clarify it on the same platform you said on. I said, I bet. I went back on stream, I clarified. I said, yo, the night before I went on stream with SZA, the night before I interviewed SZA for the first time, I didn't know who she was. I was just asking questions. My chat was saying shit. I read it. I didn't know she would get offended by it, but that was not me being mean. That's a fact. Now, granted, the last time when I talked about SZA, I was being mean. The time when Drake called me, I was being mean because I felt like SZA was really taking it like I was on some, I know how to insult somebody, but I do, at times I'm saying stuff I really don't know. I'm not even trying to diss people. Anyway, I explained that to Dave Free. So Dave Free says, yeah, you remember that, right? And I said, yeah, cool. And then he's like, he starts out with this thing about the kid. And I'm telling Dave Free, I said, bro, yo, y'all call a man a pedophile, bro. Him saying that, why y'all not getting at him? So essentially, it then becomes, well, why are y'all posting this? And I'm like, bro, here's the thing. The reality of it, we're a media outlet. I'll give it to you. We chose Drake's side. Yeah, we definitely chose Drake's side. That's a fact. It just is what it is. But we still try to be fair. But we definitely chose a side. Then he falls back off of that point because he acknowledges his problem about the stuff about the kid. He said, I was pacing in the back. I really, if I would have came out here and just crashed out, I'd be doing it when my problem is with Drake.
Very, very, very interesting. All right. So there we go. So, damn, it seemed like it was more on that. Let me see. It seemed like it was more on that. All right. Let me see if I can go to his actual, because this is just on Twitter.
Okay. Let me just get everybody online. That's what I heard, my nigga. I don't know. Bounty hunters must be some bloods. Said, okay, I'm gonna, like I said, I don't look at every post, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm gonna talk to them and be like, yo, listen, I put myself out there, and I'm not mean. The time when Drake called me, I was being mean because I felt like SZA was really taking it like I was on some, like, I know how to insult somebody, but I do, like, at times I'm saying stuff I really don't know. I'm not even trying to diss people. Anyway, I explained that to Dave Free. So Dave Free says, yeah, you remember that, right? And I said, yeah, cool. And then he's like, he starts out with this thing about the kid. And I'm telling Dave Free, I said, bro, yo, like, y'all call a man a pedophile, bro. Like, him saying that, like, why y'all not getting at him? So essentially, it then becomes, well, why are y'all posting this? And I'm like, bro, here's the thing. The reality of it, we're a media outlet. I'll give it to you. We chose Drake's side. Yeah, we definitely chose Drake's side. That's a fact. It just is what it is. But we still try to be fair. But we definitely chose a side. Then he falls back off of that point because he acknowledges his problem about the stuff about the kid. He said, I was pacing in the back. I really, like, if I came out here and just crashed out, I'd be doing it when my problem is with Drake. And that told me everything I need to know, right? So then he starts piggybacking on the Anthony Saleh point, which is, your pages, sometimes they're wilding. And we had the same conversation I had with Anthony. I said, I do believe that non-public people should not be mentioned or should not be the center of conversation in a rap beef in the media. But I kept continuing to say, eventually you grown men have to start bridging the gap and either have a conversation or put it out there to de-escalate fans. It's not nobody else but fans. You have Kendrick fans who are doxing people. They've doxed me. They've doxed other people. Like, they've doxed women. They've doxed a lot of people. You have Drake fans. They've doxed a lot of y'all. This isn't a, could your page not say this mean thing about, no. This is an atmosphere that was created by y'all two rappers. And all y'all need to do is just say, listen, this battle's over. Listen, we need the fans to cool out with it because what y'all are coming to me with is saying that y'all families are being affected by this. That's what Anthony Saleh was saying. Their families are getting bullied by fans. And I'm trying to tell them, what do you think Drake family's getting bullied by? No. And that was a point they couldn't really get to. With me and Anthony, we started going into the lawsuit shit. Actually, no, when he pulled up, he was talking about lawsuit. He said, why'd you put that liar on your stream? He was talking about the stream guy. What's the guy called? The guy who said that they were botting. And he said his phone got taken or subpoenaed or whatever. Then we talked about the Drake shit. And then, after that, I was like, they got to eventually get cool. But then we got back to the lawsuit stuff and he was telling me, this nigga Drake did blah, 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 blah. Then he told me about the clip shit. No, not the clip stuff. It was, what do you say? Oh, Universal came to them to take down the fucking cover art. They told him no, and some other shit, whatever. But Dave Free was trying to, like, his initial point was trying to stand on this thing about the kids thing until he realized his problem is with everybody else who didn't say, I think those kids might be Dave Free. So, anyway. All right, I just went to a whole long thing because, these TD niggas just need to drop the video, bro. Okay, anyway. I probably don't even need to read my tweets anymore because I just told you everything that happened. Oh, so Punch says, so you didn't tell the homie that Drake personally handled the negative captions about SZA? No. To TD, Punch, or whoever else. Drake don't own my page. Drake has never given us $1. By the way, I work with Republic people. I don't have one invoice that says it's coming from OVO. Or it's going to come from Drake's budget. Not one. Over all the years I've covered rap, Drake has never paid me. Drake has never sent me some crypto. I wish he would. Drake, I might have to clip this and send it to you, bro. Like, gang, I've seen you give bad people bread. Like, send me some money. Feel me? I fuck with you, right? It's all good. But no, he's never has, right? By the way, I've always said, Drake don't pay for promo. I think that's why, like, when he was going through the battle, things looked a little bit different because he doesn't do the things to change the narrative. Like, I don't want to mention names, but every other big organization, like with all the big artists, I won't mention them because I work with them, they create narratives by damn near buying so much promo, whether it's like, this guy's on a successful tour. This guy is like the biggest ever. Anytime you see a random post, like a random post, like this person just broke this record or whatever, that's their label, bro. That's their label. So again, notoriously, Drake is just allowed, I think he's a victim of his own success. When Drake is saying now, his shit is suppressed, I don't think it's suppressed at all. Drake doesn't know what it's not like to not have the machine or when he has to do shit himself. Right now, Drake, if you wanted a number one.
All right, so.
And by the way, the only reason why, remember Elliot was like, he had that source. The only reason why, Drake told me, Drake was like, just don't tell these niggas I told you this because I don't want to be addressing that dusty bum. I'm like, oh my God. Drake is disrespectful. I ain't gonna cap. I should have said that, but cat's on the back. Oh, man. Okay, cool. So you didn't tell a homie that you personally, whatever. I said, no. He said, that is cool. Okay, so he quote tweets me after I sent another tweet. So, that's cool. I don't have an issue with nothing homie said in the battle. You're supposed to say it. See, this is coping. This is a lie. TDE / Dave Free. They're still reeling from what Drake said. And I think Drake and his people are still reeling from what they said. This unbothered thing is just bullshit if you ask me. How do you confront me about you getting sued or your phone getting taken because of a lawsuit and not acknowledge that the lawsuit was created by the battle? How do you confront me about people making jokes about the kid ain't died and it might be yours when that was said in the battle? You're saying you're excusing it in the battle, but that planted the seed in everybody's mind. Like, we have to have some sense here. So this idea that you had no issue with what was said in the battle That's lies. So I wanted clarity on the personal insults away from the battle. The battle was personal insults, Punch. Yo, Punch, I'm telling you, I'm at the point, I know you're rich too, so you wouldn't care, but I would pay money to debate you. Like, I would love to sit across, I wouldn't do it with DJ Dickhead, I would do it with you. I would love to sit there and hear your logic, because sometimes you tweet and I could try to see some nuance in there, but here, I would love to hear your point of view in more than just a few tweets. Honestly. Like, what are we talking about here, brother? Anyway, he says, but you saying you didn't tell anyone dude was writing or approving or handling the post about SZA. No. I said, if Drake wanted us to cool it, because he told me to cool it before, because I was his friend during the album time. And for me, if I think, like, truth be told, I think Akademiks TV and the team that runs that, I didn't even tell them to talk bad about SZA, because I wasn't saying nothing bad about SZA, because I spoke with Drake. Remember, I'm honoring every truce. But I think when the battle happened and SZA becomes more distant and then she's going on tour with him, Akademiks TV becomes a little bit more liberal in making these pot shots at SZA. The point I was telling Dave Free is that I'm cooling off at SZA out of a respect of a truce that Drake struck up. I will, if he said, yo, Ak, I know you're not doing it, but get Grant to do it, or he would just hit Grant himself. He would hit Grant and be like, yo, Grant, bro, stop writing posts like that, bro. Or, bro, chill out of her, bro. You know? So he's not approving it, is that I've told Grant wrote a post one time about, who was it? It might have been about Joe Budden or something like that. And I was just like, bro, this is my guy. Like, you know, I didn't say nothing to him. I can't remember who it was, but like, I don't think he knew I was cool with them, right? So, this is what it is. All right, I'm tired of talking about this. Where's Aiden? Where's Aiden?
Let me pause right there because it sounds like he about to talk about another topic. So there you go, right there, man. So he's addressing, he pretty much saying the first time that he was talking about SZA, TDE, allegedly was gonna put the bounty hunters on him, for talking about him. Now, allegedly, this is all alleged. Now, Academics is saying that uh, Dave Free hired a private investigator to see who's the person behind that Twitter account that be writing all this crazy stuff. They got his name, where he lives, and they said, "Yo, check your man before we pull up on this nigga. We know where this nigga live. We know his name. We know everything about this dude. So you better tell that dude to chill out before we handle it ourselves." So it seems like Academics is going to finally get that page under control because something could possibly happen. But other than that, man, y'all leave a comment down below and y'all let me know what y'all think, man. It's your boy Damn D signing out, baby. Peace.